Hey, thanks for joining me again. Today I'm sharing with you my thoughts about these Vibram FiveFingers Trek Ascent shoes. They retail for 120 bucks. I've been using them for a few months now, and I actually really have been enjoying them a lot. I really like them overall. Few things I like about them. I really do like this whole thing where your toes go in between, into each of these different units. I find like it gives me incredible stability and sure-footedness in these. I use them for trail running, backpacking, whatever. They got a midsole inside that's a 4mm EVA material, so it provides just a little bit of cushion from some of those sharper rocks. And it's got a super sturdy, really good tread on the bottom, so it gets incredible grip on the trail. And it's felt really, really stable. One other thing I like about them is that they are machine washable as well, and it's a good thing because that brings me to some of the first of a few things that I don't love about them. The main thing is that, man, they really stink. I don't know what it is about the material, whatever they're using in the footbed in there. It just, my feet don't normally stink. When I wear these and certain other, types of shoes, they reek. And that's unfortunate because it's can be embarrassing if you're around other people. I've tried them even with these cute little toe socks. Reeks right through those too. Don't know what to tell you. Something about the funky material. So yeah, so that's one thing I don't like about them. Another thing is, although I do like, the idea of these individual toe bits and everything, I find that if you're using them in kind of cold weather, it's actually beneficial to have. It's a little bit of a hindrance to keep your toes warm when they're isolated from each other. One of the things that that helps your toes stay warm in cold weather is their proximity, to each other, that the skin can, touch the other digits. That kind of like helps keep your toes warm a little bit more. And that's a little bit hampered with these Vibram Five-Finger shoes. One other thing I don't like about them is that they are kind of time consuming to put on. Even, when I start getting used to these things, like mainly I'm thinking about it in terms of if I'm backpacking or something and I gotta jump out of my tent and run from a bear or something. You're gonna have a hard time throwing these things on your feet in a hurry. So if you got plenty of time to put them on and take them off, mainly put them on, then no problem. But if you think you might be in a rush at any point, it's just something to consider. Last thing about them that I think could be a little bit better is that you do get rocks coming into the top over here when you're wearing them, and so and again, that's even more of a pain because they take so much time to put them on. Even whether you're wearing the socks or not, it takes a couple minutes. It takes a minute or so to get them on and get your toes into each one of these individual bits. So if you have to do that repeatedly while you're on the trail, it's a hassle. One thing that I've found that has been really helpful for me is I've been using these gaiters with these shoes, and that kind of like covers the top, so I have not been getting any rocks in with those. Unfortunately, when I'm using the gaiters, I can't use the strap that goes under the heel because they require somewhat of a heel, so it doesn't wear out the strap. But they've actually been working fine with the gaiters. It's just, another thing I got to wear with them. One thing I wish that they would do in terms of the design for these, if they ever do redesign them, I've seen this on some other shoes, namely on a pair of Crocs several years ago, where they make a kind of like a little sleeve thing with like a draw cord kind of like this right at the ankle, and it just kind of cinches off this whole area, so it's basically, it becomes like a built-in gaiter. So if they built a gaiter into these things, that would make them amazing. And if they did something about the stench that they produce, that's all I want. That's all I want. Anyway, thanks for watching. I think that's pretty much all I have to say. Let me know if you got any questions.